Hi, I'm Anatole. This is my reaction video to the anime series Carole and Tuesday. I don't know why I always stumble that. I'm pretty sure for the first part this is my reaction video to the anime series. This is the title of episode 2 is Born to Run, which I think comes from the Bruce Springsteen song. The first episode was named after a Cyndi Lauper song, so I'm getting the pattern that each episode is named after a famous song. I don't know what other song is famous that is named Born to Run other than Bruce Springsteen. So I'm going to guess this will be part of the episode as well. It scored 9 points, 9.0 on IMDb, which is a really high score. And it was first released April 18th, 2019. I have no idea what the episode's going to be, so without wasting any of our time, let's get to it. And join me after the intro when I will begin my reaction video to Born to Run, the Netflix anime series Carole and Tuesday from Shinjiro Watanabe. Let's go! Hey, this was at the start of episode 1, so is that going to be part of the intro for every episode? Oh, this art style is nice. I really like it. So, one thing I was not clear on during my reaction for the episode 1 was exactly where is this show located, because, of course, they're speaking in Japanese. I'm watching the original. But at one point she was writing notes in her book, and the notes were in English. And some of the clues, the textual clues, are that this is kind of based in New York. So I think the answer settled. It is supposed to be, I'm in America of some sort, most likely New York. Is this going to be the intro now for every episode starting from episode 2? I'm guessing yes. Would make sense because episode 1, the two characters had met at the beginning of the start of the episode. Now this has got to be the intro more for the Japanese market, because even though it says Netflix original, it did air on TV in Japan, and there it would have been weekly, so you have to catch weekly viewers up to speed. Nowadays, when we get these streaming services and they assume that people are binging, they don't have to do these recaps. Keg of beer will do it every time. So the rich girl is used to people picking up for her, so she's not clean. That piano riff sounds straight out of Samurai Champloo. It's got to be the same performer. I really like the framing on this. They've actually done similar things like that today. I believe there was a book about the way they've analyzed songs. It's kind of like what they say between digital cameras and analog cameras, film cameras. Now this is Japanese. Even though this is set in America, this is Japanese culture transplanted into an American setting with Anglo characters. This is Japan, where they hire fake families, and face becomes so important. I couldn't imagine this practice taking place in America. At least not commonly like this. Are we going to get flashbacks every episode to her childhood? It's starting to feel like yes. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. So now the question is, when are they going to mention it? It kind of fits with the idea that Carole ran away from home. Also, Tuesday is a refugee, so both of them have that in their lives. A Greco-Roman statue in the front. That again plays into the idea that there was the statue of a god in front of the city. You're about to enter the Matrix. Are we going to get another member of the band? The piano player? And he would be the one that likes Born to Run? Let's see. Let's see if we can guess this plot. If it's that predictable or if it's going to elude our guesses. I love these lens flares. There was the movie Amélie by the French director, and there's a scene where the narrator talks about the things that he likes that are just not noticed by other people. One of them includes something about movie, like when there's a scratch in the movie, something like that. For me, it's lens flares and bokeh. I just love those things. So this music, the song is so polished now in comparison to the last episode. It's got a verse, chorus, I imagine bridge. If this were a Scooby-Doo cartoon, you'd have them running across the hallway, up and down the doors in the mansion. They're being chased every episode, it seems like, by somebody. Time to go viral. Step number 2 in the modern band career. Ah, so this is how we get the manager involved, okay? Martian immigrants. Yeah, so there would have been the statue of Mars at the base of the city. Martian Immigrants Hall. Let's see. New Brooklyn. New Brooklyn. Yes, it's definitely modeled after New York's. Oh, that's it. It was just like the first episode. It ended so suddenly. I was not expecting it when it ended. Well, that was enjoyable. Okay, so join me in a few seconds and I'll give you my review of the episode. My normal method is I'll watch the episode a second time after the reaction. Offline, I'll watch it a second time off camera. And then I look for reviews and see what other people are talking about so that when I come back to do my review, I've got a more informed opinion about it. But anyway, join you. Yeah, I was overwhelmed, you can tell. Join me in a few for my review of this episode. Hi, welcome back. This is my review for the second episode of Carole and Tuesday. It is the next day, the day after I recorded the episode, just in case I look a little different. That's the explanation. And before I begin with my review, I want to talk about the director, Shinichiro Watanabe. Because I've begun watching Carole and Tuesday, it renewed my interest in his older work. I've been watching some documentaries about and video essays about Cowboy Bebop. I'm considering rewatching Cowboy Bebop and also Samurai Champloo, because I own Samurai Champloo on Blu-ray, so easy for me to just pop it into the PlayStation 4 or watch it again. But I digress. And because I've been watching these documentaries about him, I've uncovered something about why he made the decisions he made for the characters in Cowboy Bebop. So this is what I'm reading from here. I paid a lot of attention to skin color, Watanabe said in the Jazz Messengers. It's italicized, so it's either a book or a magazine. Also to using multiple languages. Lots of times when you watch anime, the characters all have white skin. All the characters in fantasy stories all have white skin, which I never liked. I wanted to have lots of characters in Bebop without the white skin. And if people weren't used to that, well, maybe it would even make them think a little bit about it. The same was true for languages. I wanted to have lines muttered in multiple languages, but that would have been just too difficult. And of course it applies to this show because in our series, one of the titular characters is a migrant and is darker skinned. And the language they're speaking within the program is English. It was made in Japan, it was recorded in Japan, but when Tuesday hands her journal to Carole, we can see it's written in English. So that obviously proves that the English is the language they're speaking. We also see them play at the Migrant Hall. So there there are signs that there is a nod to various cultures that make up the world of Alba City, and then they're not all just one ethnicity or one cultural background. And I also, it's interesting that this is a job very much about work or profession. And we see at the beginning Carole, Tuesday, and Angela all doing things that are not connected with their profession. One is domestic. We see Tuesday trying to do housework. We see Carole trying to do an acting gig. And we see Angela doing a modeling gig, when all of them somehow want to be, are geared towards being in the music industry. And they all have different attitudes towards it. Carole finds that she is uncompromising about who she is, so she can't hold a steady job. Tuesday is just incompetent because she's never had to work, earn an honest day's dollar, or wulong in this case, in her life. And Angela is indifferent. She just doesn't care. As long as she's making money and is very popular, it's all the same to her. And there was the other theme here about technology being a tool that can cut us from our humanity or can draw us closer by connecting us with others who have like feelings and like passions was demonstrated. We see that Angela, the person she's working with, she even jokes, you sound like you aren't human, are you AI? Which could be seeding the fact that maybe this person that she's employed by is not a human, even though he looks like a human. He could be a robot run by AI. And she's also indifferent to what the effect of giving up her agency is going to be. We know that she's going to be a quote-unquote puppet of some sort. But and technology is a tool of all that. We see that the guy claims, I should get his name, hold on. Tao claims that 99% of all hit music now is generated by computer, or some sort of computer algorithm. And so here we see technology is separating people from their profession by taking it over, automating it. And then, but we also see social media drawing Carole and Tuesday into the orbit of their new manager. So again, we see that technology is a two-edged sword. Now, what the final judgment that Shinichiro Watanabe has about technology in his view, as it will be expressed in the story, is unclear. It could be the ambiguous two-edged sword, or he could have a more definitive viewpoint, like technology. He may have a more dystopian view about technology, or a more cautionary note. So that's pretty much all I got, other than the gushing I did while watching the show about the quality of the writing. Oh yeah, I wanted to point out, I've been trying to predict the show, and somehow the writing is 2 steps ahead of me. So that's a sign of quality writing, when it gives you a certain situation and the stereotypical result is the one that it doesn't follow, or if it does, it gets there in an unexpected way. And so far that's what's happened. So I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm eager for episode 3. So thank you for joining me for my review. I hope you will join me again on this channel for my future content. And until then, take care and be well. Goodbye.